Hey there, I'm Lise Colucci, and I am the life coaches at Queen Being. So we're going to get started today with 10 ways that you might be blocking your healing, or let's just say 10 things to think about when you are recovering from a narcissist in your life that may help you to make some shift and make some change if you find yourself doing these things. All right. Hey to everyone who's here. Good to see you guys. So let's just jump in with these 10 things and then we'll move to the chat afterward. Number one thing here. So I'm just going to do them in a list. Okay. Your inner dialogue. Your inner dialogue tends to be negative when you have had toxic people in your life, when you have had a narcissist filling your head with the programming that they do, that something's wrong with you, when you grew up with being told everything's your fault. The dialogue in your mind is repeating, like echoing thoughts of other people's words. It's echoing thoughts of things that then can be proven true because something does go wrong, or something, you can see where it might be your fault, things like that, where it's not actually a truth, it's a learned, um sort of perceived truth based on being told something horrible. If you were told something wonderful and bad things happen, you'd be like, huh, that's interesting. You wouldn't take it personal, but you're told it's your fault. You're told that you're right. So, what do we do with this inner dialogue? Excuse me. Well, recognize it, talk to it, stop it. Recognize that what it is that you say personally. Everyone's got their own, what I would like to call a sad song, right? It's the song that repeats in our head over and over about ourself. It's our sort of, if we had theme songs, I always imagined a world where people walked around with theme songs so you could see what was their mood was, like on television or a movie. And you're like, oh, that's the tense mood. I'm not going near that one. If we had ours, what would it sound like? What would our inner dialogues voice be? So you get to recognize that and you get to know it. Excuse me. And as you're getting to know it, see where you can disbelieve it. See where you can just see it as a perspective that you've been handed by someone else, that it isn't actually your truth. And try and minimally tell yourself, okay, that's a perspective I've had for a long time. That doesn't necessarily need to be where I make my choices from. It doesn't necessarily need to be what I believe about myself today. And this is something that takes time and energy and effort, and everyone's going to approach it a little bit differently. But that inner dialogue is key to changing your life. That inner dialogue changes the energy, changes the flow of life around you, changes the things you attract, changes the things you stay attracted to. It it's kind of critical. So this is something that we talk a lot about in coaching and in group coaching. So if you need that, check it out. Okay. Because this is something that is going to be really super individual and specific for each person. So let's move on. Number 2, overthinking and ruminating. Those pesky thought loops that will not stop, middle of the night, blah, 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 blah in our head, right? No matter what you're doing, here it goes again. More of the thought looping dialogue that is sticking you in a negative state, or is sticking you in self-loathing, or is sticking you in whatever it's sticking you in, or victim, or whatever it is, these thought loops. Or how could they do that to me? When you're trauma bonded, right? How could they be like this? How could they be like this? Why is it? Those thought loops aren't helping you. They are keeping you stuck in the state that you're in, because we don't like change as human beings, right? We want things, we want the stability and the flow of life to just kind of be even. We don't like these abrupt changes, and we don't like to have to, um, but also that mentality kind of sticks us in following with these thought loops instead of changing them. It's very similar to the inner dialogue, where you need to redirect. If you see a thought loop going that you do not wish to be thinking, redirect. Redirect your thinking, pattern interrupt that, right? Tell yourself whatever you need to tell yourself to pattern interrupt it. Basically, squirrel, right? Go look somewhere else. Change the scenery, change where you are. If you're in bed and this is happening at night, get up, get a glass of water, give yourself some stretches, walk around the room a bit, take some deep breaths, lay down and throw a meditation on. Make your mind do something else. It isn't healthy, and it's not constructive, and it isn't going to help you to be stuck in the loops. And we all know that. We just can't, we're like, what do? We're ruminating, right? So So yeah. Okay, number 3. Um Looking at or trying to guess what the toxic ex is doing, thinking and giving energy back toward that toxic person that you have gotten out of your life, and you're keeping them in your life in your own head, right? You're keeping them in your life with your own curiosity, your own emotions, and all of that toward that person. When they're out, they're out. We need to cut the no contact on the inside too, where we are slowly but surely becoming indifferent to whatever the heck they're doing in their life. Like, who cares? Right. And that takes time, and it takes some patience, and it takes a lot of effort to force yourself to stop looking at their social media. Force yourself, just do it. Stop looking. If you need to look for safety, that's a different situation, and that may be a little bit trickier to navigate to stop worrying about them. If you need to look for safety, set up your safety mechanisms around you. Have cameras, have people around you, let people know where you are. Things like that, so that you have some control over your own safety in the situation. That's a different situation than when you're just looking because you can't stop, right? It's never going to help you to know what your ex is doing. It's frankly none of your business anymore, right? It isn't. They are going to be a narcissist for the rest of their life. I can guarantee you that. I can promise almost, all right, that they are going to be a narcissist if they were one with you the rest of their life. So what does it matter what they're doing? What they're doing is exactly the same thing they did with you. It's what they do. All right. So we got to stop, and we got to stop taking it personal that whatever they do has anything to do with us. It really doesn't. It has to do with them following their selfish need for supply. And that's it. And if they aren't getting it in one place, they'll get it somewhere else. So we've got to stop the looking. Okay. The lack of self care is number 4. A lot of us don't even know what that really means, especially if you are a codependent person or have had been taught to be a people pleaser, or for safety reasons in your life growing up, you were the one that fixed everything. You don't really know what self care is, perhaps. I just did a video on self care, so please go back and watch it. I think it was the last live stream. I will chop it up and throw it on here as a video with just a short portion too, but I got to get to that this week. Anyway, yeah, self care means to me putting yourself as an important piece in your life for where care will go. In other words, you're actually giving care to yourself. It doesn't have to mean anything elaborate. It doesn't have to spend money. It doesn't even have to spend extra time. Whoa, really? Yes, really. It does not even have to spend extra time. You're already stuck in your own head, right? That's why, where else are you going to go? Like, well, you can drift away, but still a piece of yourself is there, right? So if you're already there and you're already engaging in something in life, like for instance, sitting here right now, am I sitting as comfortably as I can? No, but because of that, what else can I do? Well, I can lift my posture. That feels better. I can I can talk to you without judging myself, right? I can do these things to help myself through each moment of my life. If I am cooking myself a meal, instead of being frustrated and grumpy about it, I can just think about what I would feel like to cook a meal for someone I love, or someone I care about, or someone, a friend or whatever, and do that for myself and include myself in the list of friends in my life, right? Okay, so go back and watch that video. I will try and link it after I end here as well. So, okay, number 5, focusing on and managing others. You have probably spent so much of your life, if you have been with a narcissist for any period of time, extending yourself toward the management of them. You have probably had to manage down situations, walk on eggshells, trudge through their muck to fix life so that it's livable just enough, right? To survive. That's why we are survivors, okay? You got to stop. You've got to focus again back on self and what you require for your life. That's when you have the most energy for others. If I were not doing that, I could not be here right now. If I were not giving myself what I require, I could not help and serve a community. It wouldn't be possible for me. I would be, I'd be like, okay, guys, I don't know, just take it, like for real. I wouldn't be able to do it. And it works. Put yourself as important. Stop focusing on managing other people's life. That means gray rock the heck out of those narcissists in your life. That means go low contact if you can. Go no contact, even better. Get the toxic out of your life so you're not having to manage horribly immature, childish, toxic people. All right. And number 6, are you avoiding your emotions? Perhaps avoiding your emotions, maybe a little bit, not really wanting to face those emotions. I think we all do it. We're really, really good at it. And the thing is, we got to feel this stuff to heal this stuff, right? We've got to get to where we are able to process these emotional things that have happened and what we're feeling about those emotional things that have happened. That doesn't mean we have to live there and stay there and stick there and be this mucky emotional um place where we can't get out of. Then you lend back toward the inner dialogue and the ruminating, right? It's more about, oh, wow, I feel like this morning I was like, I feel a lot of grief today. I am coming through an anger stage of grief. Like, I was pretty angry for a couple days this week, and I'm kind of out of that, or sort of. I'm still a little hair trigger, but you know, I I can recognize that. I can allow my emotions to be there, and also I can function outside of them, right? I can allow them, but because I'm not trying to stop them and I'm not trying to process them really fast so that I can just be over this, it's sort of flowing, right? I can still do what I'm doing and allow for the emotions to be there and give them some honor and respect for helping me feel through life. All right. So avoiding your emotions isn't going to help you. Being uber positive or like totally shut down is only going to make it really hard when the bad emotions hit, when the harder, darker emotions hit, I should say, without judgment. Right. Okay. Here's another one that goes right along with it. Number 7, judging emotions or being impatient with them. Stop judging your emotions. This is really bad. I hate this. Okay. And what else is possible in this world? Because it isn't everything. When we start judging our emotions, we cling to them like they are the only thing that exists. And as empathic people, I get it. It is hard when you're an emotional, especially like INFP types of people. It's really hard to separate from that emotional space, right? But judging them is feeding fuel into the darker emotions. Judging them is not going to help you process. Judging them is going to keep you stuck. So when you hear yourself judging your emotions, giggle at it, laugh at it, say, hey, I don't need to judge this. I'm allowed to feel what I feel. Stop telling me what to do, to your inner dialogue that's trying to judge your emotions. For real, it is judging your emotions is a very sticky. Judging anything is very sticky. Being discerning is a different situation, a different story, right? Like, but judging keeps things locked in a box. And you don't want your emotional hurt to be locked in a box. You want to open it up so that it flows and you start feeling better. All right. Number 8, fear. Are you scared to move on? Are you afraid to let go? Afraid of the unknown? What else do I have here? Scared to try? Scared to connect with others? Afraid, um, afraid that what you knew was bad, what you knew as toxic is better than the unknown. In other words, so afraid of the unknown that you'd rather have the toxic known. That's going to stick you there, my friends. It is going to stick you in the situation that you're in because fear is, when you're in fight, flight, freeze, fawn, when you're in a state of fear, it's usually freeze. Freeze comes into play. And when you're frozen and scared stiff, right? You aren't going to be able to let the healing flow. It is all about processing and moving forward, not sticking in place and not living in the past, right? It's about being present in the moment and then allowing things to happen so that you can move forward. If you're afraid to meet new people, of course you're not going to meet new people, right? And if you don't meet new people, of course you're going to be lonely. So if you don't wish to be lonely or you wish to have people in your life, it's going to take being bold in face of your fear. It's going to take learning the red flags, learning putting all the education that you've got in your head at play, in action, in life, in order to move past it. There's really not many other ways I can think of for anything related to fear, right? We have to walk through the things that scare us with confidence, with some level of relaxation if we can manage it, with knowing we have support, with all of that so that we can make change in our life. Okay. Number 9, accepting what is, allowing what is. You see the toxic person, you see the toxic behaviors, you see the stuff that they've done to you. Stop sugarcoating it. Stop pretending that it isn't what it is. Stop saying, yeah, but they had a hard childhood. Yeah, but anytime you say, yeah, but about someone who's been toxic to you over and over and over again, you're not allowing the truth of who they are. You're not allowing the truth of what they've done to you and how they interact with you. What you're doing is putting up deflectors and reflectors so that you can hide from the truth and stay in the situation because of one of these other things, right? Because you're afraid, because of whatever your personal reason is. So we have to allow them to be who they are. That does not mean allow them to do what they do to you. It means allowing another human being to be exactly who they are and not pretending there's something else, so that you can make choice in your life if you wish to stay around them, if you wish to continue contact, if you wish to have anything to do with them, right? Okay, number 10, you don't know where to start. So you are completely focused on feeling stuck. I think that number 1 and number 10 are like, boom, that's kind of what sticks us in that feeling of you're not getting anywhere with healing. If you're putting in the time and you're putting in the effort towards yourself, and you are putting in the baby steps that it takes, or the big giant leaps that you might be making, you are making change, and you are not stuck. You feel stuck. You feel stuck because you don't feel 100% glorious running around barefoot in the grass with your hair flowing in the wind, or if you don't have any, with the wind on your head, right? Like that's what you're looking for. You're looking for the golden moments in life, when really what life is a mix of all the things together. We've got to stop looking for uh, like the quintessential perfect thing to be our healing, and see that we are making progress. We are taking steps forward. We are doing what we can. Maybe not everything we can, because there's always something we haven't thought of, right? But in the moment, we're doing our best, hopefully. And if we're not, then hey, start doing a little more. Stop judging it and just start doing more, right? Just shift your perspective. Those perspective shifts are what helps us propel forward and see that we've propelled forward. People often in group coaching, when a lot of people stay in for many months at a time, some people come for short periods of time, other people stay in because it is a life lesson healing. It's not just, oh my gosh, help me break the trauma bonds. It's now what? It's this place of stuck. And if I ask them to look back to where they were a year ago, or 6 months ago, or 3 months ago, wherever point they joined, most of them will say, I can see the changes I've made. Life is not perfect. And also I can see the changes that I've made. Okay, I'm not as stuck as I thought I was. So getting fixated on being stuck keeps you, it's like the glue on the bottom of your feet that keeps you more stuck. So again, that's a judgment we can let go of and say, I have the sensation and the feeling of stuck right now. Okay. So what choice can I make to change that? What choices can I make to move forward? A lot of this is kind of an interpersonal work. It all is an interpersonal work with yourself. Get support if you need it, you guys, whether it's with me or someone else. Find someone that you click with so that you feel supported, and someone that helps you elevate yourself to propel your life forward into something you want to make out of it. Okay. Not something you were told you're supposed to be by some idiotic, toxic person that has no clue about how to treat other people. All right, I'm going to go to chat now. And that's all I got for that. And we're going to see how everyone else is. How y'all doing? And anything that you can think of how people get stuck in healing, or how they're not, how they're not, let me turn that off, how they're not, where is it? It's blinging at me and I can't find it. Oh, well, we'll just leave it. Oh, there it is. Haha, I found you. Okay. And now I can't find us. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, there we are. Okay. Okay, let's get to this. Okay. Hey, Belle and Chris and Ellen, thank you for both being here, and any other mods that are here that I don't see yet. Thank you so much for popping in here. I need to figure out a way to notify you guys. I am bad at Discord. So just if someone could coach me on Discord, I will be there. Okay. Labels on jars, where they belong. Let's see. Ellen, is everyone saying hi? And Belle, such huge hugs to all here. Gratitude to Lise for keeping this going. Of course, yes. Hey, pocket full of sunshine. Anyone have anything today? I see lots of highs and greetings, and hello to everybody. Mystique. Who else? Did I say Chris? I did. I'm gonna go to the bottom and go backwards. Okay. Anything anyone wants to talk about? If I missed it, please repeat it. Any questions or anything you need help with regarding this or anything else? And how is everyone doing? How's everyone doing with the processing of everything going on and losing Angie and all of that? Keep talking if you need to. Okay. I've been talking to a lot of people, and I'm happy to help anyone that needs an ear. For that, I can be found in the description of every video. I'm pretty easy to find. So, okay. All right. I don't see any questions or anything, so I'm going to probably keep this short so it's not a super long replay. You're going through all the stages of grief. I know, it's weird, right? It's like all at the same time, one after another. You see her everywhere, says Ellen. Lovely. Yes. Okay. I'm doing too many ums, which means we're wrapping up. I will see you guys next week and on here, and I will try to be over on her channel as well, as people want that. And otherwise, I'll talk to you guys later. Take care. Move forward with your healing. Keep going. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.